power. Maximum earth-shaking power. Modified 4x4 truck. And supercharged two-wheel drive dynamos. Multiple supercharged high-performance engines, up to 10,000 horsepower, fighting the drag of the big sled. When you feel the power vibrating through the ground, you know the Redman TNT All-American Pulling Series has come to town. It all began as a dare. Today, the challenge remains the same. TNT drivers travel thousands of miles each year to see who will be able to make that last 50 feet. It's the fastest growing motorsport in the country, and you're about to see why. This week, Redman and TNT take you to a high-kicking two-wheel drive super modified extravaganza. The top pullers in the class will fight it out head-to-head at the NY State Fair in Syracuse. We'll be right back with our first pulling event. Welcome to the NY State Fair for the running of the two-wheel drive Super Modifieds. This week we're going to take you behind the scenes to show you an aspect of the sport of pulling that you may not be familiar with. Setting the weight and testing the big sled. This is an important part of every pulling event. The first test puller will be Joe Balsam from Ontario, Canada. Several teams will make trial runs to determine if the sled is too heavy or too light for this particular track.
Each track does vary. In fact, we talked about the tracks varying from start to finish as they're drying out during the day. So that's why that #1 guy does have that test pull option. Joe Balsam, Balsam Brothers out of Hampton, Ontario, Canada. Barn job #3 will be the first one to hook. By the Balsam Brothers up to about the 250-foot mark, and we'll find out from trackside if they're going to leave it sit as is or make any changes.
The sled looked a little heavy for Joe Balsam, but Rich Wisnant has a few more horses than Joe under the hood of Hot Shot. The judges will see what he can do against this sled. Often the judges will have the sled tested by several vehicles with a wide range of horsepower. This gives them a better opportunity to observe the sled in action and determine what weight would be fair for a particular field of competitors.
Richard Wisnant out of Union Grove, Alabama, calls the Chevy-powered machine the Hot Shot.
Got problems, Les Houck. There are motor parts on the bottom of the track. I should say on the track, out of the bottom of the engine. Oh my word, right at the end, Richard Wisnant, there are parts down on the track, all kinds of metal. He has blown the motor, ladies and gentlemen. Dick Wisnant out of Union Grove, Alabama, disappointing run, and we're sorry to see that happen.
Yeah, looked like I threw the rod out down there.
Rod right out through the bottom?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, and let's ask right now, can the block be repaired?
I don't know, according if he hurt it or not.
Rich Wisnan's blown engine will keep him out of this event. Of course, his run wasn't very useful to the judges as a test of the sled. So we'll continue with the test pulls as Ken Lamont brings the Midnight Express up on the line. Lamont's Chevy packs a wallop, and if he can't hook it 250 feet or better, then it will be a clear indication this sled is too heavy. Ken is one of the top competitors in this class, and the Midnight Express can get the best of most any sled. The judges will be watching this run closely. A short pull as Lamont barely makes 250 feet. This sled is really a monster. Let's get Ken's reaction.
All right, Kenny Lamont taking off his helmet right now. The first thing I'm going to ask him, Kenny, we notice you're just not getting any speed off the line. What's happening?
I think I got the sled plenty heavy. I'd say they're going to lighten it right now, Dave. They know it's too heavy.
All right, well, it looks like the red man flag is far behind the 300-foot mark, and of course one of the major concerns is having too many full pulls, but the folks like this class here in New York State.
Oh, yeah, it's a good class. That's why it's a shame to kill us this quick. You can't really get it's not good for anybody. Not good for the crowd, not good for us.
The judges want to take one more look at this one before they lighten it. Division points leader Jim Lyons will be the last of the test pullers.
Jim Lyons out of Louisville, Kentucky. Dave, here's a guy that's been having a good week. He can do it here again today.
Up in New Hampshire on Thursday night, he won the four-wheel drive. Friday night, he won the two-wheel drive. Last night, he made a good run here in the four-wheel drive class. So he's got a lot of action this weekend here at the Budweiser New York State Fair Tractor and Truck Bowl. One of the top engine builders in America, the Stitches 10 Jet. Jim Lyons out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Whoa, what a run for Jim Lyons. Now, Dave, he is the test puller. He is number one. So he was trying some things there, and he does have the option now to come back and hook again.
Let's try to remember where he went. He's just past the 250-foot mark. Let's see if he does better the second time around.
The sled was reweighted, and 10 teams went the full 300 feet. We'll return with the exciting pull-off after this message. Weight is being added to the sled for the pull-off. 10 teams pulled it out on the first go-round. Now those 10 will face each other in the pull-off.
And now we go to the finals of the two-wheel drive super modified truck class. We've got Fords, Dodges, and Chevys in there. It's going to be a dandy. Some of the best trucks in America here for the Budweiser New York State Fair two-wheel drive super modified trucks. Let's watch the pull-off.
The first will be Mike Stowe out of Georgia with the Bad Dog. This formidable Ford has really made a name for itself over the last few years, finishing often in the top 5, but never getting the big wins needed to make a run in the point standings.
Mike Stowe. And right now, the Ford fans feeling comfortable because the Ford's right now out in front. Mike Stowe and the Ford out front right now. Holy Holy cow, Mike Stowe almost getting it out the end of the again. He's making a fantastic run. Ford fans, give him a hand. Mike Stowe's Bad Dog really setting the distance to beat here in the pull-off in the two-wheel drive truck competition.
Congratulations on a fine run.
Thank you, Dave. Sun stayed in, but it didn't get any worse, did it? But I don't know. That was a good hook. I might have been a little low with air pressure there. It kind of chattering on the rear end a little bit, but the old track's taking a little power there, so we'll see what happens. I think she got a little better as we went along a while ago, and they put about 3,000 pounds in the sled and topped it about 20 feet further, so we'll see.
Ken Lamont in the Midnight Express will be next. We saw his abbreviated test run, but he came back against a lighter sled and made a strong full pull. He's been making a strong comeback this summer in the point standings after a slow start. He needs a big win today in Syracuse to keep the roll going.
And these guys are looking, this will be a big win here at the TNT All-American Truck and Tractor Pull event. Ford fans feeling comfortable because the Ford's right now out in front. Mike Stowe and the Ford out front right now. Midnight Express, Ken Lamont. Here he goes. 288 the distance he got to beat. Chevy fans, let's hear it for him. Cheer him on. Good run for Ken Lamont, but it's still Mike Stowe's Bad Dog, the Ford machine, still number one.
Kenny Lamont, you had a little trouble down there at the end of your run. She was bobbing up and down a little bit. Did you miss the weight a little bit?
Yeah, you'd think after 3 runs I'd know what to do. And
A long strain on the engine today, but been an awfully good pull-off so far. And you think somebody's going to take her out the gate?
I don't know, how far did Stowe get?
Well, he made a good run. He just tickled to death. He's got a shot at winning this close to the end.
Well, you never know what this track's going to do. It's clouded up now. The sun's not out. It might bring some moisture up and guys get some really good hooks. Well, he might do like me, stick it straight up in the air.
Next up, another of our test pullers who came back with a full pull, Jim Lyons and Stitches. The strain of that run put a hurtin' on Jim's motor, and he and his crew were working on her right up to the last minute. He'll go to the line for this run with only 7 of Stitch's 8 cylinders operational.
Jim Lyons out of Louisville, Kentucky. Dave, here's a guy that's been having a good week. He can do it here again today. Whoa! And David, as that engine died, the back wheels were locked up. So apparently something in the drivetrain may have left loose to lock that engine up, because those back wheels just slid to a stop. They're checking the kill switch to make sure the kill switch, whether it was pulled or not.
Jim, you learned that you only had 7 cylinders. What happened back in the pit area when you checked it out?
We just let it go and went ahead and run it as far as it go.
Well, it sounded like it came off the line all right. Sounded pretty good when you started making your pull. What happened then? Just came apart?
It just come apart, that's all.
The engine's junk?
Yeah, 10-4.
There's no mistaking this vintage 1932 Ford pickup body. It's Wayne Roush, the pulling professor from Ohio.
Why would a puller leave years of service at Ohio State to become a